Hello, hello, and welcome to MVP English. Yours truly, Steve. Let's go. Yeah. Yes. Hello, 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 and welcome to another video with MVP English School Online. I'm Steve. Happy Thursday, wherever you are. If you're watching it on a different day, yeah, it may not be Thursday, but happy Thursday anyway. All right. Today, I want to talk to you about what may or may not be keeping you from speaking English more. Okay. Um, I hear since I came to Japan, I've heard many, many times from many, many different Japanese people, young and old, and everything in between. I can't speak English. In English, you know, you can speak English, but you can say that. I don't know. You know, I think, you know, there are a lot of people in this country, in Japan, that know how to speak English better than they think they do, or more than they think they do. In fact, I will bet you if you thought about or wrote down all of the English words that you would probably know quite a lot of English, I think. Yeah. So if it's not a knowledge of English that's keeping you back, you know, when it comes to testing in English, if you can take a test in English, if you can name all the different parts of English, all the different verbs and the verb tenses and things like that, why can't you speak English? Or what makes you think that you can't speak English? And, you know, this is something that I've thought about a lot, and it's something that's kind of bothered me a little bit about um, the way people think about English here in Japan, because I just simply don't believe it. I think most people in this country can speak English a lot better than they think they can, and they know a lot more than they think they do. So what's keeping you back? Is it a reluctance or a nervousness to speak English to native speakers? Maybe for some of you, that's true. Is it possibly a reluctance or a nervousness to speak English in front of other Japanese people? This might be more true of a lot of people than anything else. And what I will say is this: English is a language, and it is a spoken, written, and communicated language in, I would say, most of the world. Okay. So being able to communicate to people in English is really important, especially if you're thinking about or you have a job working for a multinational company. English is probably pretty important to your job or to your future in that company. So learning how to speak it and speak it well, or at least be able to communicate in English, is somewhat important to a lot of people in this country. So, what is stopping you? I suspect for most people, it is the idea in your head that you can't speak English, or maybe you just don't want to speak English or try to speak English. But I think for most of you, if you try, you can do it. Speaking a second language isn't easy, and learning a second language definitely is not easy. Japanese is one of the most difficult languages to learn, I think, personally. Um, just learning to read Japanese, you need to learn 3 writing styles. You need to learn hiragana, katakana, and kanji just to be able to read Japanese at a basic level. If you want to read something like a newspaper, you need to learn at least about 5,000 kanji characters. And that's not including 64 hiragana and katakana characters. That's a lot to learn in order to read Japanese. English, you only need to learn 26 characters, A through Z. And if you learn them and learn them well, you can read most English anywhere, in a newspaper, in a textbook, anywhere, any English, you can learn to read if you know the 26 letters of the alphabet. That's quite a big difference. 5,064 characters, 26. I'm sure English has a lot of vocabulary, and learning all the different vocabulary and how to use it and what they mean, that takes time for sure. But at a basic level, if you think about it, you've had to learn a lot more to be able to speak, read, and write Japanese than you need to learn to speak, read, and write English. So just food for thought. The next time you think you can't speak English, maybe try to say that in Japanese, because then it's more believable than telling me in English that you can't speak English. But I don't think that's true anyway. Yeah. The main thing about communication is trying. If you try, even if you make big mistakes, even if your English is difficult to understand, most of the time, the people that you're talking to will try to understand you and try to speak to you so that you can understand them. Yeah. Versus telling someone when you first meet them, I can't speak English. So what does this mean then? That we can't have a conversation, that you don't want to talk to me, that you don't want to try to communicate with me, or that my only means of communicating with you is Japanese, which I may or may not know how to speak very well. I think a lot of Japanese people see the telling a native speaker from the beginning, I can't speak English, it's like a disclaimer. I can't speak English, so don't try to speak English to me. I don't know. I know for me, when I hear a Japanese person tell me they can't speak English in English, it's kind of off-putting from the very beginning. Because like I say, what are the options after that? Either I try to speak Japanese to you, which my Japanese may or may not be good enough to really communicate with you. And certainly I'm willing to try to use my Japanese, of course. But from the very beginning, you're telling me that you don't even want to try really to communicate with me. So, I would stay away from telling native speakers when you first meet them, especially that you can't speak English. First of all, if you tell them in English that you can't speak English, that makes no sense because you just spoke English. So maybe try to say in Japanese that you can't speak English and see if they understand that. And if they don't, then you might need to try to speak English to them. Okay, because certainly as long as you learn English for in Japan, from junior high school at least, a lot of people nowadays from elementary school all the way through high school, and some people even through university, they've learned English. So you've learned English for a long time. And it's very difficult for me to accept that for all those years that you studied English, you retain none of it and have no ability to speak it. Certainly your ability might be low, but I don't think it's non-existent. Okay. Uh, if you want your English to get better, definitely try to speak if you have the possibility to speak English. When you meet a native speaker of English in this country, that's a good opportunity to practice speaking your English or try to speak your English. When I studied Spanish in high school, and if I meet someone who is a Spanish speaker, I do try to speak a little bit of Spanish if I can, if the situation arises. ¿Cómo estás? Ustedes. Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? ¿Y usted? Oh, muy bien, gracias. Even if it's just very basic like that, it still makes a better impression than to say, if I were to say to a Spanish speaker, for example, I can't speak Spanish. Spangle, no hablamos. Spangle, español, no hablamos. No hablamos español. See, I'm trying to speak Spanish like I'm speaking Japanese. Yeah. If I said in Spanish, I can't speak Spanish, and that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. It's probably not going to make the best impression with a Spanish speaker. But if I try to speak a little bit, just a little bit, who knows what might happen? We might become really good friends, or they might teach me some Spanish that I didn't know. Who knows? All right. So if you get the opportunity, please try to speak some English. Yeah, because definitely you probably know more than you think you do. And, even in Japanese, there's a lot of English words in Japanese, and katakana, of course, but there's a lot, you guys use a lot of English words in your language. In fact, in some cases, there's no Japanese words for it. Terebi. What's the Japanese word for television? Well, terebi. No, terebi is katakana and is derived from English. What would be the native Japanese word for our television? There really isn't one. Yeah. So you definitely know more English than you think you do. All right. So I hope this helps. Get out there, give it a shot, give it a try. Definitely you can speak English, because can't is just impossible. You definitely can if you try. So good luck. I hope you guys make a lot of new native speaker friends out there, and I hope you have fun trying to speak English anyway. All right. Until next time, have a great day and have a wonderful rest of your week. All right. Let's see you next time. Bye-bye. Woo!